Before I begin tonight's video, I'd like to apologize to everybody in advance for not being able to see my handsome face. Now, I would love to give you some artistic reason for why I'm doing the video the way I'm doing it tonight, but truth be told, I bought a new camera, I can't figure out how to use it, so until I do, I'm just going to have to make the best of the situation. When you have a YouTube gun channel, you get asked quite often, what's the best carry gun? But every now and then, some people will follow up that question with, don't say Glock and don't say Smith & Wesson M&P. They don't want to hear the same old, same old. They want to hear something that's maybe an alternative to the same old answers. They want to hear guns that maybe they wouldn't think of otherwise, or maybe they wouldn't be told to buy otherwise. They don't want to hear the guns that are on everybody's top 1 or 2 guns to buy list. They want to hear something a little different. That's not saying that the guns that everyone always suggests are not good. They just want to see other options. So tonight I'm going to make this video for those people. Now before I get into the guns, I'm going to say a couple of things. One, these guns are going to be mostly polymer. These are carry guns. These are not heirlooms. Now I personally prefer all steel guns, or at least guns that have alloy frames. But those don't always make the best carry guns for most people. Let's face it, carry guns, like I said, are not something you want to hand down to your children. They're something that you want to be reliable, but to be as light and as easy to carry as possible, and that's where polymer shines. Also, I know not everyone carries the same size gun. Some people carry full-size guns, some people carry compacts, some people carry subcompacts or even pocket guns. So I'm going to break it into a couple different categories, actually 4 categories. It's going to be full-size guns, compact guns, subcompact guns, and then micro compact or pocket guns or mouse guns, whatever you want to call them. Now, the way the manufacturers divide these guns up isn't always uniform across the board. There's usually kind of a gray area between the sizes of different models of guns. So I'm going to set a criteria here for each size gun. For a gun to be a full-size gun, it has to have a barrel length of greater than 4 inches and has to hold no less than 15 rounds. To be a compact gun, it has to have a barrel greater than 3 inches, but no more than 4 inches, and it has to hold a minimum of 12 rounds. To be a subcompact gun, it's going to have a barrel of greater than 2 inches, but no more than 3 inches in length, and hold at least 6 rounds. Now, I know a lot of these guns in this size category carry more than 6 rounds, but 6 rounds is the minimum. And to be a pocket gun, mouse gun, micro gun, it has to have a barrel length of 2 inches or less, and it has to hold still 6 rounds. Because if you go under 6 rounds, get a revolver, get a J-frame. If you're going to have less than 6 rounds, there's no reason to have a semi-auto, so it has to have at least 6 rounds. Okay, now that we have all that out of the way, let's start what I would call my best of the B list, carry handguns list. And let's start with full size. Now the full size gun is one that I've actually been making a lot of effort to shoot lately. I know a couple people that have them, so I've been going to the range with them shooting theirs. One of our ranges locally actually rents them. I've rented it a few times, and I have been really impressed with this gun. It is the CZ P09. Now, I was never a CZ fan until I actually bought one, and now I'm really interested in them. I think that they make a great gun for a great price. Now, this gun is a great shooter. Now, it is a big gun. It's got a 4 3/4 inch barrel and a huge grip on it, but it holds 19 rounds. So this is a big gun, but it gives you a lot of firepower, and it's amazingly accurate. It's very comfortable in the hand, and best of all, it comes from the factory with the option to have it with a safety decocker or just a decocker. Now, I would always go just with the decocker because I don't think safeties belong on carry guns. But the fact that the gun comes with parts for both, that is pretty unique to me. That is a great idea. I think all carry guns should come with that option. For people who want a safety, they can have a safety. And for people who don't want a safety, they can have just a decocker. I think that's awesome. So that's my choice for best B-list full-size gun, the CZ P09. And CZ does make a gun, if you don't want a gun this large, it's pretty much the same gun in a compact size, and that's the CZ P07. It shares many of the great traits of this gun, including that decocker or safety decocker feature. It's just a little smaller. It's a compact version of this gun, so if you don't want the big one, you do have an option for this gun in the compact size also. But that's not the gun I'm choosing for best compact. The gun I'm choosing for the best B-list compact gun is the Beretta PX4 Storm Compact. Now this gun is the Beretta PX4 Storm with the rotating barrel, and it holds 15 rounds. It's a little bit smaller than the full-size Storm. It is the compact. And this gun is great. It shoots amazingly well. It's very comfortable in the hand, very accurate, and that rotating barrel really helps manage recoil. It's just hard to beat a compact gun that holds 15 plus 1 rounds of ammunition, and plus is easy to shoot and easy to conceal. And I just found out that the Storm Compact actually comes in an Inox version now. Up until now, you could only get the Inox version in the full size, but now the Compact is also available in Inox. And mentioning the full size, this gun, very similar to the CZ P09 and P07, actually has a full-size version of it too that also is available in Inox or regular. And that gun is awesome. I own that gun. It's a bigger version of this gun. It's not quite as big as the P09 from CZ, but it's still a bigger gun. But I really like it. It's not what I'm going to put as the full-size best gun, best B-list gun, as we already know, because I already did that. But it's an option if you don't want the gun in a compact size, but you like the PX4 compact, you can get the full size instead. Next, we come to the best B-list carry subcompact handgun. And for that gun, I'm also going to choose another Beretta, the Beretta Nano. Now, some people will be like, why didn't you choose the Storm subcompact if you like the Storm so much? Well, I don't like the Storm subcompact, mainly because it's kind of a funny looking gun. It's not the most compact gun for a subcompact, and it loses the rotating barrel. And that's the main feature of the PX4 Storm is the rotating barrel. The subcompact just has a flip-up barrel, so it loses most of the advantages of the regular Storm. So I'm not choosing it. I'm choosing the Nano because I love the Nano. It's a very nice carry gun. It's designed in a way that there's almost nothing on the outside of the gun that can snag on anything. It's a very simple design. It's easy to use. It's accurate. It holds 6+1 rounds of 9mm, and it's actually pretty versatile too because you can change out the grip handle. If you want it pink, OD green, whatever you want, you can get different colors of grip handles for this gun very easily, and they're actually very cheap. The only part of the gun that is actually a registered firearm is the little firing control unit, the little housing that holds the trigger and the firing mechanism, etc. That's the only part of the gun that is a licensed part of the gun. Everything else can be replaced. I've never understood when I hear people talk about subcompact carry guns why the Nano isn't mentioned more, because it really is one of the most perfect subcompact carry guns. Like I said, it's small, there's nothing on it that can snag, it's just perfectly designed for carrying easily. So it's my choice for best B-list subcompact carry gun. And now we come to the best B-list carry pocket handgun or micro handgun or mouse gun, whatever you want to call it. Now, the gun that I'm choosing for the B-list option here is actually the A-list of all pocket guns if you ask me, but it's not usually on everybody's first choice list, so I'm putting it on the B-list here. It is the Seacamp LWS. For some reason, when most people talk about guns in this size category, they talk about the Ruger LCP, the Taurus TCP, the Blech Keltec, but most people don't mention the LWS from Seacamp. And I don't know why, because like I said, I think it's the best gun of its type, period. It's a solid little chunk of stainless steel, it's easy to use, it's accurate, reliable, etc. And it is super small. If you've never seen one in person, you cannot appreciate how small this gun is. I'll show you some pictures here of it compared to a J-frame. Look how small it is compared to a J-frame. And it's smaller than the Ruger LCP. If you look at it here next to the Ruger LCP, it's even considerably smaller than that gun. In fact, if you compare it to one of the North American Arms little mini revolvers, the super tiny little mini revolvers, it actually compares pretty favorably to them. And the difference is, I consider those guns kind of a novelty. I mean, they're usable, but they're a little bit fragile. They're good little guns, but like I said, the mechanism is a little fragile on them. I kind of consider them a novelty. The Seacamp is not a novelty. It is a practical and usable self-defense gun. The main reason I think a lot of people don't choose it is they think it's super expensive. They hear Seacamp and they think, oh, it's a little boutique gun. It's like $1,000, $1,200 for a little tiny gun, but it's not. Now, it does come in two models, the 380 and the 32, and the 380 can be kind of expensive. It can be $600 or $700, maybe even more if you want to get one right away. But the 32 is inexpensive. It's like $450 in most places. You can even see them used for like $325 all the time on Gunbroker. And ballistically, when you get into a barrel that small, there's not that big of a difference between 380 and 32. There is some ballistic difference, but as far as practical application goes, they're pretty similar. And that combination of being accurate, reliable, well-made, and super tiny is why I choose the Seacamp LWS as not only the best pocket gun ever made, but as definitely the best B-list carry, micro, mouse, pocket gun, whatever you want to call it. So there you have it. There's my list. Now keep in mind, these are just my opinions. If you think these guns are A-list guns, I could not argue with you. I think every one of these guns is definitely good enough to be an A-list gun. I only put them on the B list because they're not the guns I hear most people say when they talk about their top options for their carry guns. These are guns that often get overlooked, and I don't think they should be overlooked because I think, like I said, they are top-notch guns. But like I said, they're not the first guns people mention when they talk about their carry guns. So that's my list. The CZP-09, the PX4 Storm Compact, the Beretta Nano, the Seacamp LWS. That is my list of best B-list carry handguns.